Hi, this is Scott Garibay. Let's talk about how Emberwind tabletop role-playing game handles the Tolkien break. All right, so what's the Tolkien break? So first of all, if you don't know what Emberwind is an international tabletop role-playing game. It's been out for a few years now. It's a real sleeper. Not a lot of people know about it. It is totally Zimp. This game is out there. It's awesome. It's incredible. You've got to check it out. Pick it up. Costs $50 for the physical book and the PDF. I suggest, because it'll cost you $30 to get the PDF anyway. It means you're going to get the book for $20. It's totally worth it. Get the physical, get the, order the bundle that gives you the physical book and then gives you the digital. It's totally worth it. All right. So, Emberwind, low fantasy, high fantasy, either one. Tabletop role-playing game. It's exactly like 5e, but it's got better tactical options, better art, and it's more succinct, and it's a really unique way to tabletop role-playing game. It's great. I want to talk about how this game handles the Tolkien break. Let's define the Tolkien break. What is the Tolkien break? So basically, J.R.R. Tolkien, awesome, loved him, everybody loves him, everybody loves Loader, blah, 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 right? It's been around forever, right? By the way, just the other day I was on, Tolkien is his own thing, right? I wanted to know, what is the future of Tolkien books? Are we going to get sequels to Lord of the Rings? You might, right? And the reason why is his kids, right? If you go on Wikipedia, you could see the family tree of J.R.R. Tolkien back from 1620 all the way to today. And he has got lots of kids and grandkids. And so we very well may see sequels to Lord of the Rings. That's incredible. That is really incredible, right? But what does Tolkien mean for the tabletop role-playing game milieu for the entire industry? A lot. So one, it is my supposition that Dungeons & Dragons is literally Tolkien systemized. It is, Gary Gygax was so in love with Tolkien's work, and the vast majority of early tabletop role-playing game designers were so in love with what Tolkien did that they took Tolkien as canon. And if you look at Dungeons & Dragons 5e today, it's hard to tell where Tolkien ends and the game begins. It's so Tolkien-esque, right? And recently there's been this big discussion. It started on Twitter and it's being seen in conventions all over the world. There is a designer level and now GM level, and I would even say player level discussion about the Tolkien break. Should we remove Tolkien's influence from tabletop role-playing games in low and high fantasy games, right? It's a big question. A lot of people will be like, what? Why would you do that? Well, the reason why is Tolkien was amazing at everything except diversity and wokeness. A lot of his stuff right now, it ain't woke, it ain't diverse, right? And that's a problem, right? Because people want their games to be woke and diverse, right? So what I want to talk about is how Emberwind handles the Tolkien break. So first of all, before we get to Emberwind and how it handles the Tolkien break, let's talk about how different games handle the Tolkien break. So I'm not kidding, every single week a new tabletop role-playing game comes out, okay? We get at least 50 a year, probably. We probably get 2, 3, 4, it's like movies. We get 200, 300, 400 tabletop role-playing games a year now, right? Depends on how you count a tabletop role-playing game, blah, 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 right? But so when they come out, one of the things that happens is you have the unaware. There's a few very small group of designers who are super excited about tabletop role-playing games, but they're not connected to the community of tabletop role-playing game designers, and they're literally not even aware of this discussion, right? Now, there aren't many of these, but there are the unaware. So some tabletop role-playing game designers are unaware of this discussion, right? And they just go happily about their way, right? And they create a Tolkien-esque story because it's all they know, right? That happens, right? Then you have the deliberates, right? Now, the deliberates are like old grognards who are creating tabletop role-playing games and saying, I'm going to keep this Tolkien-esque, right? And I'm going to call race. I'm not going to use lineage or heritage or ancestry, right? So those are people who are aware of the problem and don't care and are going to keep making Tolkien-esque games and are not interested in the Tolkien break whatsoever, right? That's your second type of Tolkien break of how different industry designers handle the Tolkien break, okay? Second to last is the the super woke. Actually, I will call them the yeah. Oh, here we go. The bullhorn creators, right? The bullhorns, right? So you have the unaware, you have the deliberates. Let's talk about the bullhorns, right? The bullhorns are people who are doing the token break in their tabletop role-playing game design, right? And making it special and unique, and making it more multinational, right? Making it, not just one old British dude's idea of fantasy, and really, bringing in elements from lots of different cultures and making it more diverse, and making it, gender open and preference open, and just layering wokeness into their game, right? These are the bullhorns, right? So they're doing all that work, but they're telling you in the book that they're doing it, right? The biggest one of these I ever saw was The Watch, right? That game is like, they're like, hey, this is a super woke game. They tell you right in the book, right? It's not literally those words, but boy, is it that spirit, right? Like, they're like, this is a super woke game, and if you don't get that, well, I guess I don't know what you do buying this book, but if you do get that, isn't it great that we're all playing this super woke game? Yay us, right? Not only do they do the token break, but they talk constantly in the book, in the core rule book, about them doing the token break, right? The Watch is the template for this, right? That's a bullhorn, right? Like, now, I'm not saying that's bad, I'm just saying it's a thing, right? Let's talk about Emberwind. Emberwind wins. Emberwind is doing the token break right. This is the best token break I've ever seen in any tabletop role-playing game. They're doing it all, right? They are breaking from Tolkien and saying, we are going to have a multicultural, low fantasy, high fantasy mix, right? There's going to be Asian influences. There's going to be South American influences. There's going to be European influences. There's going to be lots of, all the people in this book are going to be of every hue, of every, different type of person in the world. Their skin colors they're going to be different body types, like this game is super woke, right? But, and I think, what do we call this grouping? Because I think Emberwind is one of the first tabletop role-playing games to do this. And so I would call these, I would call these people the foundationers, because this is the foundation. Like, this is how it should be done from now on. They are breaking from Tolkien and letting the material in the book tell you they are breaking the Tolkien, rather than the creator of the book, getting very personal, having this conversational tone with the reader. They are letting the work say, we are breaking from Tolkien, right? And they are not literally saying we're breaking from Tolkien and clapping themselves on the back and applauding their own wokeness within the book. They're being woke, they're doing woke, and they're keeping their mouths shut about it. That is super dope. Like, that is the coolest there is, right? Right? Because, like, one of the best lines I ever heard in an action movie was, like, somebody was like, I'm a dangerous person. And then, the person, back from them says, I've known dangerous people in my life, and one thing I can tell you is they never say I'm dangerous, right? I think that was in Better Off Saul. That's like, and that's when you know somebody is super woke, right? When they are woke, when they do woke, and they shut up about it, right? That is the best, right? Like, when they are letting their actions do the work, when they're letting their output do the work, when they're letting their work do the work, right? Rather than their words, right? Woke through work, not woke through words. That's what Emberwind is. It is an absolute rock star delivery of one of the best tabletop role-playing games I have ever seen, and it handles the token break, in a way that is a foundation for other creators. It is incredibly well done. That is my opinion of how Emberwind handled the token break. It is absolutely fantastic. Emberwind is a 5 out of 5 star game. If you haven't picked it up, pick it up. It is fantastic. Check it out. Grab it. You will not be sorry you did. All that is my opinion. I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments below. Please consider liking and subscribing, and have a wonderful millennium.